Welcome to another edition of Guest House, Sweet Home for Patients and Families in Chicago. I'm Dionne Nicole Smith, Director of Development, and we are so happy to have you with us this evening.
Good evening. I am Art Sims, Community Outreach Manager, and thank you for joining us this evening as we continue to share more about our organization and how we might be of benefit to you in the future. If you are unaware about what we do at the Guest House Foundation, our mission is to provide temporary medical lodging for medical patients and their families and military veterans when they are seeking treatment from Chicagoland area hospitals, which is critical when you talk about health care equity.
It definitely is, Art, and that's one reason why we're so proud to do this show every month. Tonight, we have a special guest. For those of you who are unaware, June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. So we are so happy to have with us Olivia Matongo, who is the VP of Programs for the Alzheimer's Association, Illinois chapter. And she leads a talented team across 8 sites in delivering programs and initiatives focused on expanding research of care and access to timely diagnosis as well as quality and safety of care for 1 million Illinoisans. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Olivia is inspired when cultivating strong working relationships and bringing people together to achieve a common mission and accelerating healthcare deliverables and resources for patients of all ages and backgrounds. Welcome, Olivia.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
We're so happy to finally have you, and that's the running joke. We've been trying to schedule her for a very long time, but we are so grateful that the stars aligned that we could get her here in June for Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. So I think we should start with basics for most people, right? Okay. We cannot assume that you know what Alzheimer's means. What is Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer's is a brain disease that impacts one's memory, thinking, and behavior. And Alzheimer's is just one of the many forms of dementia. It's the most common. I would say about 80% of the people that are living with dementia have Alzheimer's disease. So it's the one that we see that's quite prevalent, but then there are others as well. So it is just part of the umbrella of dementia diseases.
Does one start off having dementia first and then it progresses into the other, or are they both as equal? My late mother had early onset, but she was diagnosed with dementia first. And so that's what is it kind of a hand-in-hand type of situation?
It is a hand-in-hand situation. And, I think it's really important to understand because it's part of that umbrella. So dementia itself is a collection of symptoms, and these symptoms are cognitive symptoms, behavioral symptoms, psychological symptoms, and so that then teases into all the different forms. But yes, it's really one and the same.
Well, and I'm so happy that you said that, Art, because that's where my brain was going. Sadly, my family as well. My grandma on my dad's side, she had Alzheimer's. And then my grandmother on my mother's side, I would always say she had dementia because she physically did not deteriorate until literally she just stopped eating towards probably the week that she passed, or the week before she passed. But I saw the differences between both of them, with my grandmother physically deteriorating to a baby where she had to be taken care of. My granny, interestingly enough, she was diagnosed with dementia, but physically she was still relatively healthy. She was able to, she lived with myself, she lived with my aunt, she lived with my uncle. We were trying to figure out the best way to take care of her, but we got her back in her house and just had my uncle come over. She almost became more like herself when she was back in her house. But I thought it was fascinating because until right before her life was over, she was eating, she was drinking, and then it was like as if she said, okay, I think it's my time. But she had been diagnosed for a long time before then. So it was just really interesting to see the differences. And with you saying there are so many dynamics and so many levels.
Well, that's kind of what I was going to ask Olivia about, like, what are the signs? And you did give some great tips as we were talking. But, we live in a world now where everybody's like, oh, I've become so forgetful. Or did I turn the stove off? Or did I unplug the iron? And I know that more and more younger people are now, it used to be where it was a certain age. So what are some of the signs and when does it start showing up?
What we know is Alzheimer's, and I'll start with your last question. Alzheimer's really starts to develop in an individual 20 years before it truly shows up.
That's the deep
So
part.
for instance, you could be 45 today and it starts to develop in your brain, and then it only truly manifests maybe once you hit 65. So it's really, really important, in fact, and your question is so layered, but it's so important now more than ever for people to really pay attention and start to take care of themselves, because we now know from research and science the things that we can do to potentially reduce our risk. So some of these symptoms are, memory loss that is truly disruptive to your daily life. You're not able to function as well. You're having challenges in planning or solving problems. If you were somebody that was able to solve math problems or a puzzle. Now it's something that you're not able to do. Difficulty completing tasks. You start working on one thing and you completely forget. And then there's also just confusion with time and place. What we see a lot is people wander when they have Alzheimer's. I believe 6 out of 10 people wander. So they set out to go to the grocery store. They want to go back home and they're lost now, and they're lost for 3 hours. They're driving up and down the street, not able to figure out how to get home. We also see changes in mood. There's a lot of, I think, just depression that comes with that. You can see that you're not the person that you were, so your mood changes. We're seeing that a lot. But those are really some of the signs that you need to, if you're seeing those in yourself or a family member or a friend, we truly encourage you. It might not be Alzheimer's or dementia, but go see a physician and check it out. It could be a thyroid issue, medication issue, but check it out, please.
I think you just brought up a really key point, and I'm sure Art is thinking the same thing. You just said, go to your doctor if you have certain things that you're concerned with. And I think we just ask all of you that are watching us, don't wait till the last minute if you feel something is wrong or going on in your body that you're not happy about. You don't know what it may be, but you also don't want to assume that it's the worst. Go see your doctor. Talk to someone about what you're experiencing, because I think sometimes you just hit it. It could be a thyroid situation. It could be a lot of other things. I mean, in this world, we're going through a lot. Maybe we accidentally fell and had a brain injury. Maybe we hit our head. You don't know what is really going on until you actually talk to your doctor about what your symptoms are.
I think that's $1 million advice. You're absolutely right.
Absolutely. And I will just add this, that what we're seeing is in populations that are at higher risk, so the Black and Brown community, they will begin to see these signs, but they won't do anything about it. They wait till the very last minute to start seeking help. And at that point, it's so late. It's so late.
It is.
So as soon as you see the signs and symptoms, as soon as you feel something is wrong, go see your doctor and be your best advocate. while you're at your doctor's office.
You're absolutely right.
Yes.
And that's so
True.
essential.
That
I'm
is
starting
true.
to notice more and more that people are putting videos online of their family members who are going through this. And I used to be so opposed of people showing our elders, people that are not well on social media. But a lot of these people are creating videos that are such learning tools. You know, here's how my mom was 5 years ago. Here's how she is now. And so I'm more accepting of looking at those type of videos, because if you don't know what to expect,
And
this
that's
can
the
be
truth.
very hard. A lot of
Yeah.
people are only
That's the truth.
children,
That's
a
right.
lot of, you just don't know. And so to be well informed about something like this is essential.
Well, and I
Absolutely.
think too, even to your point, even if you do have siblings, you're still confused.
Correct.
You're not sure how you want to navigate this new terrain, what you want to do, what is the best thing for your loved one. You really don't know. Even if you have some tools, it's still, I think you're constantly learning. You're always trying to figure it out. And I'm only speaking from my own personal experience of what I went through with both grandmothers and also an aunt. So regardless of that, it's like, you hope for the best in terms of whether you're going to be experiencing those symptoms, right? You pray not, because everybody in your family may not, right? It doesn't mean that every single person in your family is going to eventually have it, but, you do wonder about those things.
Very true. I do want to find out, ladies, I know there's not a cure.
Okay.
Right.
But is
Right.
there anything that I can do? I'm more worried now more than ever. You said 65.
Well,
I'm
when
like,
she
oh
said
my
20
goodness,
years, 20 years before.
So I'm like, do I need to eat more
Oh
cottage
my
cheese?
gosh.
Do I need?
Oh, no.
What is it that I would what would inform our audience best to help keep this at bay? I mean,
Yeah.
we know, I'm just in shock that you said starting
I
at
know.
45.
Yeah.
So right.
Just, wow.
So one of the things our public health team, as well as our researchers at the Alzheimer's Association, spend a lot of time really digging into research and science and really understanding this disease and some of the things that we can be doing today. And about 2 years ago, we launched an amazing program called the 10 Healthy Habits. And this program really came from us understanding what can we do today to start taking care of our brain. And it's things, honestly, that you hear every day on the news, on TV, on social media platforms. Eating well, exercising, getting enough sleep, making sure that your brain is active, managing your diabetes, managing your blood pressure. Those are all risk factors that could potentially lead to Alzheimer's or another form of dementia. So if you start to take care of those things, you can potentially reduce your risk. What we understand is if people really pay attention to these healthy habits, it could reduce the risk by 45%. So that's huge.
Wow.
That's huge.
Incredible.
That's huge.
45%.
45%.
And I'm going to do
Right.
this, even though you can't actually read what's on this card, just to know if you go to, is it,
alz.org/healthy habits.
I wasn't going to assume, but Olivia told you, so you can find different resource cards that may help you, something that, reach out to the Alzheimer's Association, though, if you need resources. Put things on your refrigerator. Send it to your loved ones so that everybody is starting to think about, what can we do now?
Yeah.
Because you hear people, exactly what she said, you hear people talk about this constantly. Okay, watch what you're eating. Okay, exercise. Okay, do this. That is for everything. It does not matter the diagnoses. Right now, we're focused on Alzheimer's, and brain awareness or brain health. But that's really for any and everything. So we all need to do a whole lot better when it comes to trying to take care of our health.
I do have a question, Olivia.
Yes.
Is it more prevalent in men versus women? And the reason I'm saying this is everybody is talking about this hit movie that Tyler Perry had come out, Straw, and it's not to give it away, not to give it away. But
I know, I haven't seen it yet.
I know, ladies, not to give you know, I know how to not spoiler alert. You know how to do that.
Yes.
But societal pressure.
Yeah.
Just day-to-day things that we live in, you know, protesting through our streets, economic downturns, things like that. Are those factors in developing, and is it more men, more women? What you know, what is it?
So the populations that are at highest risk is women. 2/3 of people living with Alzheimer's or another form of dementia are women. We don't know why. We're still really looking into the research to figure this out, but women are at higher risk. And then, of course, you know, people of color, so Black Americans, the Hispanic community. Black Americans are twice as likely to develop, Hispanics 1.5 times, and then also people that live in rural communities. They don't have access to, you know, information. They don't have the right things at their fingertips. So they're also considered high risk. So those are really the populations. But yes, I think when you are dealing with stress and pressure, all those things eventually get the best of your body. And that doesn't help you any when it comes to chronic diseases. So you do want to be able to be taking care of yourself, you know, the 10 healthy habits, but also trying to live a more balanced life so you're not as stressed or pressured. But I know it's tough. I mean, things are really hard right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Things are really
And
hard.
I was just thinking about that when you're talking about how do you cope, right? So when you think about the brain health initiatives that you all are dealing with, can you talk a little bit more about that and how we can really help to educate everyone on that? Yeah,
you know, so in addition to the healthy habits, you know, the state of Illinois was really lucky. We received funding from the CDC as well as the state, Illinois Department of Public Health to focus on brain health because we're recognizing that, again, if we get to people early on, it could reduce their risk. So we're now targeting the entire lifespan. Young children, middle-aged children, older adults. Everybody needs to know what it means to take care of themselves and to take care of their brain so that you can age well and you have memories and you enjoy your family in your older years. And we know that a lot of people are living longer. We're seeing that a lot. So it's important for you to age well. So yes, we are pushing very hard a project that just dropped, and actually it launched April 15th. It's the Illinois Brain Health Project. And, you know, it's called Your Brain Will Thank You. And what it is we're encouraging people to do things similar to the healthy habits because your brain will thank you. Eat a healthy, balanced diet. Your brain will thank you. Go for a 20-minute walk. Your brain will thank you. So
I love
Let's keep that up.
We're doing,
Dance a little
that's
bit.
right.
Your brain will
Your
thank
brain
you.
will thank
Yes.
you. So please visit the website, yourbrainwillthankyou.com. Really get all the information and knowledge from that. We're working with partners that are really tethered in the community that are also doing this work. So we have ARP that's working with us. We have the Chicago Department of Family and Support Services. We have UIC. We have, you know, Rush. We have all these powerful players in the room that are helping to push messaging around brain health. Everybody needs to be taking care of their brain. And it's never too late to start.
That's right. And I love the fact that you mentioned some of the players because some of them are our hospital partners. So we really do appreciate the fact that they're working with you. UI Health and Rush are two of our major hospital partners. And I'm just thinking about the fact that I can't wait to get some of these resources, some of these that we just showed you to have in our community room so that people who stay with us can actually pick up some of these resources that if they are looking for something to help them. Maybe they're going through something that they're not discussing with us, because obviously everyone who comes and stays with us at the guest house, we respect their privacy. So we may not know everything that they're dealing with. So maybe some of these resources may be beneficial to them. And so I can't wait to get some of these to be able to put out in our community room.
Please.
To actually encourage them to want to learn more, right? You know?
I think it's incredible. I think it's worthy
it's-
information.
It definitely is. And are there, like, and I know these 10 healthy habits for your brain, do you find when you're out in the community and you're dealing with, and you're talking with different populations, what is the hardest thing for them to actually hold on to? What do people fight?
I think getting started. I think that's something that I see. I mean, even in just my own friend group, you know, being in my 40s right now, I do try to preach this information and news to my friends, and it's hard because if people don't feel a connection or understand what the motivation is, it's hard for them to get on board. But I think once they do, they understand it. But that doesn't stop us. You know, the Alzheimer's Association was so well positioned. We are in 87 counties, and every day my team and I are in community, and we are trying to really raise awareness and make sure that people understand the importance of this. So we're continuing to fight this, even though we get a little bit of resistance, which isn't always, but we still want to get the word out. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was just really,
It really
curious
is.
about that, because we know when you deal with health and things that are just difficult to talk about, sometimes you kind of push and you rebel against it when you know it's good for you. I think we all do that. There are times when you talk about eating healthy, I struggle with that all the time. And I don't care what age you are. I'm not going to tell my age. But I struggle with that, even though I know I need to eat fruit and vegetables. Majority of my diet should be fruit and vegetables, not necessarily frozen yogurt or something else, right? You know, you want to reduce the sugars. You want to reduce the dairy. You know, you have to think about these things. As hard as they are, you have to think about them. So it's a challenge. So just know that you are not alone. We are in this with you. We do understand it may be challenging. It's hard when things shift in your life. It is hard to deal with. We know from personal experience, it's a challenge. But just know that there are resources out here for you and that you are not alone.
You're not. And that's the most important thing that people need to know. As we said before, a little bit about the Guest House Foundation before we close out. 53 fully furnished apartments in the Illinois Medical District. We're located at 1933 West Polk Street. GuestHouseChicago.org is our website. You see it at the bottom of the screen. And we are referral based. You do have to be referred by one of our partnering hospitals or one of the wonderful organizations that we work with. You can find us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, X, and Threads. Guest House Chicago. So please check us out. Olivia, you've been just an outstanding guest.
Thank you.
You really have. I just now I'm ready to drink green juice the rest of the day.
I know, right?
Right.
Please do.
Yes, I will.
The great thing about it is we know we will invite Olivia back for sure when she has something else that she wants to talk about, wants to announce. And we just want to make sure that you know with Guest House, we're talking about Alzheimer's and brain awareness, but we serve people of all diagnoses, no matter the age, no matter if you are an inpatient or you're an outpatient, if you are the family of a loved one that's in the hospital for whatever that diagnosis may be, we are able to support you and help you. And as she discussed, and as we've been jokingly talking about when it comes to good diet and food, every week we provide a weekly dinner for our guests, and we also provide a breakfast bag because we know it's important. Some people are dealing with food insecurities, and we know this life, especially right now with the increase in grocery prices, it's hard. So just a little bit of support makes a big difference. And before we leave, we want to tell you where we'll be in the community in just a couple weeks. We will be at the IMD LGBT Resource Fair, Tuesday, June 24th, at the IMD headquarters, which is 2100 West Harrison. And for those of you who don't remember, IMD is the neighborhood where we are. That's the Illinois Medical District. They're an amazing entity, and this is where we are in this community. So we ask that you will just join us next month for another episode of Guest House, because every month we're going to talk about something new. Every month we're hoping that you will gain something from it. We hope that you will be inspired to want to like us, want to share the program. We believe in being out in the community, and we hope that you will just join us wherever you are and just meet us, come talk to us, and come visit us. Maybe there's someone who may need our services, so come visit us.
And we want to wish all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day. Be encouraged, gentlemen. This is Men's Health Awareness Month as well, too. Make sure you get those checkups, see your doctors, and do the right thing. Olivia, you've been an outstanding guest. Can you give your website for us, please?
Absolutely. Please go to alz.org for any questions about Alzheimer's, dementia, or the 10 healthy habits. Thank you.
On behalf of myself, Art Sims, Community Relations Manager, and
Dionne Nicole Smith, Director of Development.
we want to say thank you so much for joining us this evening. Please visit our website, guesthousechicago.org. Until next time, be well, be safe, enjoy your summer, and we'll see you on our next show. Bye.